critical and very interesting that I wanted us to touch on when you're talking about safe use is basically something to do with PHI. It is something that farmers, we're always told about PHI. What is PHI?
Thank you. PHI is a short form for pre-harvest interval.
Just move the mic a bit closer.
And pre-harvest interval,
Yes.
these are the number of days that you're supposed to wait after spraying a product before that product is harvested for consumption.
Okay. So just continue first.
Essentially,
Yes.
that means that, okay, in the product label,
Yes.
all products registered in Kenya are supposed to have the PHI. For example,
Yes.
I have a product label with me
Yes.
that reads that the PHI
Yes.
for vegetables is 3 days.
3 days.
That means
Yes.
that if today is on Thursday
Yes.
and I'm spraying this product today,
Yes.
today being Thursday, I'm supposed to wait another 3 days before I harvest the product.
So 3 days after today.
3 days after today.
Meaning, if it is Thursday, you're spraying, so you wait Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it is Monday when you should even enter that place you sprayed.
Not entering,
Yes, harvesting.
but harvesting for consumption.
What about the re-entry?
Re-entry period is supposed to be 1 day for
1 day.
all crops,
Okay.
unless we have special pesticides that will direct otherwise. Re-entry period is 1 day.
1 day.
That means that within a day, the chemical will have been dried up by the sun or wind, so that you can re-enter the farm and continue your practices. But PHI is
Yes.
strict for different crops.
Yes.
Different pesticides have different PHI days.
So now, for the purposes of our viewers, I have a product label here, and the product label specifically says pre-harvest interval PHI for tomato and French beans is 7 days.
Yes.
So if I'm spraying on Monday, I'm trying to make it easier for our farmers. If I'm spraying on Monday, I have to wait for 7 days for me to harvest again.
Exactly.
So that means I basically harvest on the 9th day. Today, 7 plus the next. So today until harvest is 9 days.
Including today, yes, 9 days.
9 days.
Yes.
What happens now? Because I want us to bring ourselves into the into reality. You know, there's reality versus expectation. So reality, I am harvesting my tomatoes. In the next, I have to harvest every week twice.
Yes.
What should I do then?
This is a very good discussion, and I'll first want to go a little bit back, some years back. I was working for an export company.
All right.
Primarily, we were doing export French beans.
All right.
And for export farmers,
Yes.
PHI is very essential. Why is it essential? Because when we harvest products in Kenya, the first thing after they enter the country of consumption,
Yes.
let's say UK market,
Yes.
a sample of the product is taken to the lab for testing. And one of the things they test
Yes.
is the presence of pests, because let's say, for example, we are talking about French beans.
Yes.
Sometimes some insects launch into the pod.
Pods.
So one of the things they look for is the presence, actual presence of insects. And number two, they test for presence of chemicals. These are lab tests. And if they find traces of
Yes.
chemical, then the product is recalled back, or you have to pay for it to be kutupwa.
Kutupwa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It cannot be consumed if it has traces of.
So the whole
Product.
container is removed.
Yes, at your expense.
That is the exporter's expense.
Yes. So normally,
So that is what is.
normally, to answer the question now directly,
Yes.
different products,
Yes.
or rather molecules,
Yes.
have different pHi days.
Uh-huh.
For example,
Mhm.
if you have just planted your tomatoes,
Yes.
it is allowed
Mhm.
to use products with a longer pHi.
Okay.
Why? Because the crop will be in the field for long.
For long. Okay.
We have products with 21 days, 30 days pHi.
Mhm.
Those are very safe to use when the crop is young.
Okay.
But as the crop approaches harvesting,
Yes.
the farmer should be very careful on the product he's using in terms of pHi numbers,
Yes.
because you don't want to use a product that will have residue levels of the chemical,
That is the famous MRL.
the MRLs.
Yes.
And this is what the export market normally tests.
Okay.
The MRL should be equivalent to analytical 0 when the product is in the market. That means that it should have no chemical residues,
At all, whether good or bad.
good or bad.
Okay.
Now, if the product is safe,
Yes.
it means that you have observed the pHi numbers. When the producers of products are doing the test,
Yes.
they ensure that the pHi numbers they give, if they say 7 days, after 7 days when you test the product, it will be very safe, with no residues.
Yes.
That's why farmers should actually observe the pHi correctly.
Okay. Very interesting. So let me find out something that is that I know that viewers will be asking is, how do you determine that before you start producing? Is it something, actually let me rephrase my question, is this something that farmers should look at before starting production, or what? Because I mean, you have to know that which pest will attack your crop, so that you don't start spraying a harmful chemical when you're harvesting. You know, is there a calendar, a crop, like a spray program that farmers should be getting, so that it makes them easy? Just let me know. Give us a reply to that.
Now, a spray calendar would be very important, and chemical companies normally have these spray calendars that they have for different crops. But essentially, a farmer should also be knowledgeable with time about which products to use at different stages. And it is important to note that if you are talking of an insect like caterpillar, there are products with a longer pHi for caterpillar,
Okay.
and products with shorter pHis for caterpillar.
Okay.
For example, we have organic products.
Yes.
One of them is made from neem tree. In Kiswahili it's called mwarobaini.
Yes. Yes.
Neem tree is an extract of the mwarobaini, which is safe
Yes.
for consumption.
Yes.
Now, such products have either 1 or 0 pHi. They are also able to act on the insects.
So you mean that when you say 0 pHi, it means you can spray today and harvest today and eat?
Yes, but it is not a safe practice to do that.
Okay.
If you know you're going to harvest today, you should spray yesterday.
Now that we are talking about French beans, because one of the things that has been brought across, especially from this campaign, is the fact that our produce, both French beans, snow peas, and even chilies, have been banned in the EU market, and because of for us not following the regulations. What happens to farmers? Is it that they don't know? Is it that the exporters don't know? Or is it that the brokers come in between there?
There are quite a number of factors
Yes.
that contribute to this. And number one is that there are so many products in the market today.
Okay.
And I won't mention countries, but farmers have been even sourcing for products outside the country to use in Kenya.
Yes.
Because number one, our products are expensive. And number two, the products in Kenya are safe.
Mm.
What does that mean? If you are controlling white flies
Yes.
with a product with a 1-day PHI, it means that the levels of the molecule,
Yes.
the percentage, has
Yes.
been reduced
Uh-huh.
so that it can be safe for the consumer.
Yes.
And the farmer would want to spray a product and see the insects die instantly.
Very true. Very true. Most
Now, that's a challenge.
Yes.
Because, yes, you can use a product with a longer PHI, with a concentrated molecule, and kill the insect. But remember, tomorrow, that product will be consumed in the market.
Oh, yes.
So that's the question the farmer should ask.
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing this to get more money and kill my customers? Or should I use a safe product?
So at that time, when the farmer is selling before the day that they're supposed to be selling, is normally looking at their pockets, not even their stomach, because if the stomach, they would be doing healthy food.
Yes.
Only talking about looking at their
At the
pockets.
pocket.
So what should the practice be? What can you tell farmers when it comes to a scenario? Because I have been in the same scenario. I remember, the time we were growing French beans, and a broker comes in between and says, "You can sell to me this." It takes a lot of integrity on the part of the farmer to say, "No, I sprayed yesterday. My exporter will buy in the next 2 days." What can you tell farmers to go around that? Because because of that, because of selling in between, what has happened is that we have actually lost a lot of market. Apart from the effect of corona on export, what can you advise farmers on that?
The discussion that we are having is very relevant, both to the farmers and consumers. And when I was working in the export industry, vis-a-vis now, Kenya has lost a lot of market, a big market, because most of our products have been banned in UK because of overuse of pesticides. And it is important that the farmer should get first-hand information from the beginning, because as you said, it is safe to use products with longer PHI when the crop is still in early stages.
Yes.
These are products that can effectively kill insects or destroy a big percentage of insects because they have a knockdown effect. Now, we earlier had discussed about the label and say that different labels come with different colors to indicate how toxic the product is.
Yes.
And there are labels that have red color. If you look at a label, just on the margin of the label,
Yes.
every label has a color. And that's a requirement of the government.
Okay.
Now, if you find a label with red color, it means that that product is very toxic. It is highly toxic. And I can tell you for sure, the PHI will be more than 7. It goes up to 30 days because that's a toxic product. There's no way the PHI will be 2-3 days if the product is toxic. Number 2, we have products with a yellow color.
Yes.
It also means that the product is dangerous for use.
Okay.
Red color and yellow color, those are dangerous signs.
Okay.
It is either dangerous or highly toxic.
Yes.
We have a third color, which is blue.
Yes. I've seen
Blue means that the product is moderately toxic.
It is still toxic.
It is still toxic,
But moderate.
but it's moderate.
So you're talking about now 7 days PHI.
Yeah, we are talking about 7 days,
Yes.
5 days PHI. So it is a little bit safe, but you also need to be careful. And finally, we have labels with green color.
Okay.
This means that the product is slightly toxic.
Okay.
Why are we calling all of them toxic? Because these are chemicals. They are not supposed to be ingested.
See ice cream.
Yes. We are not supposed to ingest any chemical.
Okay.
So that's why all of them are toxic to the environment and to the human beings. But pesticides pesticide with green color are kind of friendly for use, and these will find with a pHi of 1 to 3 days.
Okay.
Yes, so the farmer should know
The labels
and use products with a longer pHi when the crop is still in the stage. So that when you are about to enter the market, if the product's supposed to be sold this week,
Yes.
you have already done away with chemicals with a longer pHi, and you have protected your crop safely, so that when you're harvesting, the percentage of infestation of pests
Yes.
is very little.
Very interesting, very interesting. You as a farmer, if you're watching us,